All right, listeners, welcome back for another deep dive. And today, we're going to be tackling something that's pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Meta's changing their hate speech policies.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this article here called Pasted Text, and boy, there's some strong opinions in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And we're going to be looking at those and kind of like diving into what exactly is changing. What does it mean for us, the platform,
Right.
all that jazz. So,
Well, I mean, just to kick things off, one of the things that really jumped out at me was Stonewall, and they're a big deal when it comes to, LGBTQ plus advocacy.
right.
And they came out swinging, saying that Meta is putting politics over people.
Yeah, pretty strong words right off the bat.
Definitely.
So what exactly is it that has them, this fired up?
Well, it boils down to Meta saying, okay, you can't just insult people based on, their mental health.
Right.
Makes sense on the surface, right?
Yeah.
But then they go and add this exception for if you're talking about someone's sexuality or gender identity.
So you're saying that it's okay to call someone mentally ill because they're gay or transgender.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
That seems pretty messed up.
Well, yeah. I mean, on the one hand, they're saying mental illness is bad, don't use it as an insult. But then on the other hand, they're saying, well, unless we're talking about, LGBTQ plus people, then it's okay.
Yeah. And, and we can't forget about all the baggage that comes with this.
Oh, absolutely.
Historically, LGBTQ plus people have been,
Stigmatized.
stigmatized, exactly. And,
Pathologized.
yeah.
I mean, and this is just adding fuel to that fire. It's
Right.
making it seem like, okay, it's legitimate to say these things because Meta is saying it's okay.
And I mean, think about, younger people who are still figuring themselves out.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Seeing stuff like this on, a platform like Meta,
Yeah.
which everybody uses, I mean, that's got to be so damaging.
Right. It's telling them that their identity is somehow a mental illness.
Right.
Which is just wrong. Yeah.
Completely. So what's
Yeah.
Meta's excuse here? What are they saying about this?
Well, they're claiming that it's about protecting free expression,
Right.
and that they're just trying to reflect the political and religious conversations that are already happening.
Okay, but where do you draw the line? I mean, you can't just call everything free speech.
Right. Because some of this is just straight up hate speech disguised as, some sort of intellectual debate.
And it's not like this is just words on a screen.
No.
This affects real people.
Real people with real feelings.
And this could make LGBTQ plus people afraid to speak out,
Oh, absolutely.
for fear of being attacked.
Self-censorship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
It's scary.
it really is. And I mean, I've got to wonder, Meta's a company. They're in the business of making money.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be some kind of play to, appease certain groups?
Oh, I'm sure that's a factor.
Yeah, because the article even mentions, people like Donald Trump and the guy who runs what used to be Twitter.
Oh.
They're all praising Meta for this.
Interesting.
Yeah. And this kind of lines up with some of the other stuff they've been doing, like getting rid of those third-party fact checkers
Oh, yeah.
and loosening the rules about, insulting people's appearance.
It's like they're going all in on this community-based content moderation thing.
Yeah. For those who maybe aren't familiar with that, what does that even mean?
So basically it means they're putting the responsibility on users to flag and report bad content.
So, like, instead of having people at Meta, actually moderating things,
Exactly.
it's just us regular users flagging stuff.
Yeah, they say it empowers users, it, makes it more of a shared responsibility.
Okay, but does it
Yeah.
really work? I mean,
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It can be really inconsistent because different communities have different standards.
right.
What's offensive to one person might be totally fine to someone else.
And I mean, you could have situations where a bunch of people gang up on someone they don't like and just flag all their stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a real worry.
Yeah. So it seems like Meta's in kind of a tough spot here.
Oh, for sure.
They want to have free speech, but they also don't want their platform to become, a haven for hate speech.
The balancing act.
A very difficult one.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, is there like one big takeaway you want to leave our listener with?
I think the big question we all need to ask ourselves is, how do we define free speech in this digital age?
Yeah.
I mean, where do we draw the line between, letting people say what they want and protecting people from harm?
Right.
It's a conversation that we need to keep having, and we need to be careful and thoughtful about it because it's not just about ideas, it's about real people's lives.
It's about creating a space where everyone feels safe and welcome.
Exactly.
That's a really powerful thought. Thank you so much for walking us through all this.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners out there, keep thinking about this stuff. It's important, and it affects all of us.